question time.
Yeah, so let's look at the Q&A in the chat. So let me pull it up here.
Okay.
Now
there's a question here in the chat.
Okay, so take those. Yeah,
the use of asterisks on the keywords. Yes, asterisks may be used. We call it stemming for keywords, but not all databases allow it. For the databases that allow it, you can use it. And we should be sure that the database allows it before we use it. And it helps to find variant forms of word and different spellings. Like, for example, if you have a word, a stem, can I think of any example at the moment? You stem the word. I can give you an example that is not relevant to you, but I'll give it anyway. Like you take the word library, you can stem it at the second R using the asterisk. So it will find for you in the search the variant forms of the word library, like the singular form library, the plural form libraries, the noun form librarianship, librarians, and so on. So yes, asterisk is a main means of searching for information, but then not all databases allow it. Not all databases allow it.
There was a comment in the chat about PubMed Central. Which is, I mean, what Dr. Sildazi put out there, that there's PubMed Central, which is different from PubMed and offers free full articles compared with PubMed. Could you comment on that? Are you familiar with that? PubMed Central?
Yes, PubMed Central offers free full article, but then the options you find in PubMed itself is more than what you'd find in PubMed Central. Let me put it that way.
Right. All right.
And there's another one here. Yes, go on, Richard.
Okay, go on.
Thank you for the excellent present so far. I would like to know if Hinari is available for trainees and trainers via the Ghana College. Mr. Ansah, yes. Can you answer? I think it is. There's a username and password. So college, please respond.
Yeah, trust you to find that one for us to respond. So what's happening is that Hinari is available at the college. We have a username and password. What we are doing now is that we've subscribed to certain databases through the Consortium of Academic and Research Libraries in Ghana. And we've been having some problems getting the databases live, but I think we are at the tail end of solving that problem now. Ms. Ansah can talk a bit about that. So once we get all the technical issues with these databases sorted out, we are going to provide all residents, all fellows, and all members with access to the database. So you'd have remote access. You'll be able to access the databases, including Hinari, from home. Once you get the access, we're going to give all residents will have access throughout the period of their training. All all fellows and members would have free access for 1 year. After that, only those who are fully paid up would have access. But I guess yeah. So let's say that's it now. So that will be a benefit from being fully paid up. But from when we get live, you have access for 1 year, and then we'll move from there. So Hinari is available, and there'll be other databases available. Patrick, you want to make a comment about the stage we are at and how soon we are likely to go live with giving our trainers and trainees access to these databases?
All right, Prof. So at the moment, we've started the process, and we have about 6 of the resources live. I think we have Emerald and other Wiley and others live. So what we're doing is that we're sorting out some few technical issues so that we can quickly give access to the residents, the members, and the fellows in due time. Thank you.
I'm being asked to go online. I can do that so that I can do a search for you to see. That shouldn't be, I think we should do that. There's a question here about which databases has more extensive reach, gives articles of both English and non-English speaking countries. I think you have Agile, all the ones we talked about, Hinari. Hinari does that very well. Hinari is, because Hinari is for developing countries and for everybody, that option is there. But for all the databases, you do have options for non-English speaking countries also. The language option is there for almost all the databases that you'll be using. So maybe at this point, I'll go.
Before you go online. There was a question about what you think of ResearchGate, and
yeah,
I think Sandra put that there. I'm trying to find it. Sandra, you can talk. So can you say what you put down?
Okay, Chibuzo, thank you so much. That's a great presentation. I just wanted to find out about what you think about ResearchGate and academia. And would you recommend putting up full articles from non-open access journals there, or will you consider it as plagiarism? That's basically thank you.
One thing I'd like to say about those two, ResearchGate and academia.edu, is that they are a great network of researchers. And as to whether I recommend it, once it allows it, I think you can put it there. I think I have my articles there, and it makes your reach wider. Other people access it. But the good thing about academia.edu and ResearchGate is that you are able to contact researchers, and they can give you their full text articles at no cost. So that's the good thing about belonging to that network. People share freely their research, but you need to be a member. You need to be part of the network. And you should also be willing to freely share your article with them. So that I don't see anything wrong with it. But I know that in recent times, they are being clamped down on. So they are being careful. But I think it's okay. But again, it's a choice that we all have to make. I hope that helps, Sandra.
It does. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. So can we go live now?
Yeah, you can go online and do the presentation. Yeah.
Okay, let me just do that.
Do a live search for everybody to see. Yeah.
I'll use let me use PubMed. Can you see my screen, please?
Yes, we can see your screen. Please
okay,
go ahead.
Good. Unfortunately, I've been unable to access Hinari. I would have loved to do a search in Hinari for us to see, but for some strange reason, I'm not able to access Hinari at all.
Why don't you try it again now? Try it again now and see whether.
Okay, let me try again and see.
Let's try and see.
Research for Life. Hinari login. So that's Research for Life home. So this is it. But I'm not logged in, unfortunately. I'm not logged in, but I can take us through how to log in. So when you click researchforlife.org, this is a page that appears. To log in, you need to click on Access Content. Then you click on Login. You'll be given the option to enter the username and password. So here it is. So this is supposed to be my username and password, but I'm not able to enter.
Click the login and see whether you're going. Login.
So there's login, and that's authentication failed. Okay, so I'm going to try and use the college option. But Patrick, if you can log in and share your screen, I'll be grateful. If you can log in from your end and share your screen.
All right, so let me see.
So let me stop sharing. Yeah. Then you log into Hinari from your end, and then we can just go through it.
So you want him to log
in?
No,
if Patrick can log in, yes.
Go through Google and like you did, or?
Oh yeah, let him do that. Let him just go like I did and enter the username and password like I did. Yeah. Just enter research. It's researchforlife.org actually.
I'm also getting the same thing, authentication.
Okay, then we need to sort it out. So I think it's a general. So let me just do PubMed.
Problem.
Yeah, so I'll just do PubMed. Yeah. Okay. So I'll just go to PubMed. I'm sharing my screen. Yeah. So again, I can never keep PubMed, the URL in my mind. So I always go through Google. So just type PubMed. So the first link that appears. So that's the PubMed page. And let's search for, what did I do? Physical activity.
The physical activity and hypertension, what you did. Yeah.
Physical, can you remember what I did? I said, let me just.
Physical activity and hypertension.
Control, physical.
Okay, hypertension control. Yeah.
Physical activity, hypertension control. You see, I'm not adding any Boolean operators. So then I search physical activity, hypertension control, and I search.
So when you don't add any Boolean operators, it's automatically an and, is it?
Yes, it does. It will do it. I'll show you how it works.
It's automatically an and.
So these are the results. You see, I didn't add any Boolean operators, but it's giving me, it's managed to separate it. Physical activity, prevention. So it gives me anything to do with physical activity and hypertension control. Okay. And when you scroll down, this is the filter bar that I mentioned, the filter bar that I mentioned. So you can limit your search to abstracts if you so wish, to just abstracts. So then when you click on that, so that you see the true filters applied abstract. I want you to take note of the total number of results before we do this. So before I applied the abstracts, the total number of results was 10,000, a little over 10,000, am I right? So then when you apply that, you want only abstracts. Or now let me just make it free full text instead, not abstracts. I'll do free full text, okay? You have 3,000. But the good thing about this is that everything here is full text.
Yeah.
But the bad thing about it is that if you select full text, you are then not aware of other literature that is not full text. So it's good to be aware. And at least if you don't, even if you don't get the full text, you are aware of the its existence. But again, the abstract normally in PubMed is very is good enough. So let me just untick this and go back to the 10,000 results. Again, you can limit by date. You can just do this by dragging this. Then you can just, let's go up to only 2022 and see what happens. So we have 317 results for only 2022. So when you scroll down, everything here is 2022. Okay, what, so many authors, wow. Okay, so that's it. So that's, then you can, if you want to know more about a particular, you just click on it and then it comes up, the abstract and everything shows up. Then you can read it and see if you'd like to get the full text if it's not available. But here we have free PMC articles, so you can just, if it's relevant, there are so many things you can do with it. You can cite it. And then you can email it, you can save it. And then I want to talk a bit about send to. So Citation Manager, then you click on Citation Manager, then you create then you create a file, okay? So if you have a Citation Manager, you notice that it's been downloaded here for me. So I just click on it, then it goes into my reference manager. So I'm not going into that, but just to let you know that many databases allow you to send to a reference manager and use it in your research. They allow you to save email and everything. Now you have here display options. You can choose to see the format as abstract, or you can just choose to see it as PubMed. So then you don't see the abstract. This is what you see. And I don't think it's relevant to anybody. So those are the display options. More often than not, you probably would just leave it at abstract. more often than not. So you see to the right of this article, similar articles, which you can click on. So when you click on similar articles, you get a list of similar articles, which you can look through and find out if they are relevant to your research. Over here, you can create an alert in PubMed. But before you create an alert, you realize that I have created an account. So I can show you how to create an alert in PubMed, but you need to create an account first. So to create an alert, I've created an alert for this already. Let me do another search and then create an alert, go through the process of creating. Okay, it's okay. I can just use this. So the search that will be saved is this physical activity hypertension control. You have the option to change it, the name, if you so wish, to something else that might have more meaning to you. Would you like email updates of new search results? You can say yes or no, but definitely it's yes. That's why you are creating the alert. So this doubles up as a saved search and creating an alert. So if you want it just as a saved search, then you say no. So then you're not giving any information when there are updates. But if you say yes, when there are updates, you are giving information. So now here is frequency. How often do you want to have information from PubMed if there's an update on this saved search? Monthly, weekly, daily. But we should be cautious about what we choose. You can be inundated and drowned in your email by the information you receive. So you have to determine the frequency here. So again, you have the option to choose which day. And then report format. Do you want the summary or the abstract? You can choose that. How should it come? As a summary or an abstract? So that again is your choice. Then the number of items you want sent. You see, this is even more detailed than the Scholar research create alert. So you can say that 50 items at a time, 100 items. The choice is yours. 1 item, 5 items. But again, in doing this, we have to be realistic. 50 items in your email, that's a bit plenty. But again, it depends on the research you are doing and how urgently you need the information. So again, it's a personal choice. So they said, if you want them to send you information, even when there aren't any new results, you need to select this. So then you can choose the optional text in email that will appear. Whatever, you can write anything there. Maybe articles or references from PubMed. Then you save. So then I've saved and I've created an alert for this. So anytime there's information, I'll be alerted in my Gmail account. That's what I use to create the account. So over here, I can go to my dashboard. You can then just see my created alerts. So I'm clicking on dashboard. So this is about everything I have here. So of course, I don't have any bibliography here. So as you populate, you can find the information you have populated in PubMed. I only have saved searches. I did malaria, Ghana, home environment and childhood obesity. That was yesterday. And then physical activity. So that's all the information I have here. But this is my dashboard. So that's it for creating an alert. Then there's something I'd like to show you about why you don't need to use quotation marks in PubMed. When you go to the advanced search, you click on advanced here. I hope I'm not moving too fast. My history is saved here for me, but I'm interested in finding out how PubMed did the search. So I click on this, whatever it's called, Then it shows me the search details for this query, how PubMed did the search. So I click on it. So this is how PubMed carried out the search. And you see my filters are also there from 2022 to 2022. Everything is displayed. So it shows you the mesh terms. PubMed has mesh terms that is matches our search terms to. So it shows you the mesh terms that is matched the search term to. So exercise. Then it uses other alternate terms. They could be American and British spellings, plural and singular, all the alternate options available for alternate concepts. PubMed provides it. Okay, so that's it. That's how it carried out the search. The mesh subheadings it used. So this one, it used prevention and control. This is a mesh subheading. Then it used some alternate concepts from other places. Then we have the physical activity. The exercise is the mesh subheading that it did, and then found other alternatives. We have activity, physical activity, and so on. Hypertension, you have hypertense, hypertension. So you see all the variations there. So if you want to know how PubMed carried out the search, this is what you do. You just come to advanced, click on this arrow. I don't know what it's called, but then it gives you information about how the search was carried out. So that's a bit about PubMed and how it searches and the options you have using PubMed. Are there any questions, please? Let me just check the Q&A.
There are some questions in the Q&A. Maybe some of them we'll have to respond to them. I mean, there's a comment made by Vic that can we get practice sessions maybe quarterly for our residents so they get familiar with performing searches. So
that's a good idea.
I mean that can be done. I mean once we are doing this we're doing these sessions virtually, we can actually run sessions like this quarterly and advertisers and residents can log in. And I know there's been some work that Professor Yosna has been doing something like that together with Child Health, isn't it? Where they have some sessions, but that's more research methods. So we can do this definitely for our residents and trainers as well. There was a comment there about whether it's possible to read 10,000 abstracts, and I'll say the answer is as well possible. It's possible. I mean, you can read it. Depends on how long it will take you. But I think the point made there is that that's where the narrowing of the search comes in.
Yeah.
Because we see that with the physical activity and hypertension, when it was searched, the original search was from 1963 to 2002. Yeah. That's what gave the 10,000 abstracts. But then when you limit it in terms of reducing the number of years, you get fewer articles. So then it becomes a thing that's readable. So definitely 10,000 would be too much. There's another question on how can we know how many number of cases reported for a particular condition. I think the way to do that is actually to do a search of that condition. Yeah. That condition will be the word. Let's say multiple sclerosis. So you can, and I think you could do something like that, multiple sclerosis. And if you picked the type of article as case reports,
yeah,
I think that filter is the type of article. Then you could see it. I mean, I don't know that case report is there. There's something, yeah. So I think that would be the way to do it. Yeah. If you just use the subject, you wouldn't get the number of cases that have been reported. There's something that I just can't remember that Professor J, I think he did when we were going with the residents, where there's a link somewhere where you can click and you get more of these clinical things. But it's possible to get that. Either the long way, but like I'm doing, you do that end case report, and eventually you find it. So that can be got. there was a question that what is meant by RSS, create RSS.
Okay.
You want to talk about that?
I'm trying to remember. Yes, but RSS these days is I've forgotten it's an acronym for a feed. You create a feed and then you keep going back to it, but I wouldn't encourage it, honestly, but you need to have certain things in place to be able to create a feed. So it's better to just create alerts. Okay. But you could read some more about RSS feeds, but I have never used RSS feeds. I find it too cumbersome, but I could read some more and get back to you on how you can do it in PubMed.
It says this what do you call it? Google search for you.
Reach something
RSS, really simple syndication.
Yeah.
It's an online file that contains details about every piece of content a site has published. Each time a site publishes a new piece of content, details of that content, including the full text of the content or a summary, would come to you. So I think the alert kind of like does the same thing, doesn't it?
Yeah, the alert is more specific. I don't know, but we can explore and see whether we prefer the RSS feeds to the email, creating alerts. Then we can make a choice. There are other questions here, Richard, chat. The trip database. Yeah, trip database is available, but the trip database, you have limited access to trip database. It is also available. It's like an evidence-based database and gives you full text of systematic reviews. Somebody has made a comment there. It's actually free, but the free version is limited. I think Kolebu should have access to the unlimited trip database. I'll look into it through a project. So that's the comment.
Yeah, I think that's it. Okay, so thank you for this presentation. I mean, there've been some useful suggestions about doing a quarterly thing like this for trainees, and I guess for we the trainers.
There's been three hands up.
Well. Patrick, your mic is live. Patrick, your mic is live.
All right, so I was alerting you. There's been 3 hands up. All this well.
Three hands up. Okay.
Yes, please.
So please
unmute them.
give them live mics and let them speak, please.
All right, Dr. Conrad Bako, you can speak, please.
Yes, hello. Hi. Thank you very much for your presentation. It's wonderful and very easy to understand. Thank you so much. I put in a comment about the concept of a research clinic on there. And the reason I did that was, I was just wondering whether those participating or the college could consider any number of volunteers from different specialties who may have an interest in facilitating residents, in the questions and practice. So, for example, if you had 20 fellows or similar number of trainers on a rotating basis, it should be possible to facilitate, even if just 1 hour a week, where residents could drop in and then go through simple questions, and these questions could be put ahead of time into a pool. So it would be like running a surgical or pediatric or gynae outpatient clinic, but it would be more for research, so that, I mean, quarterly may be a bit of a stretch. And if we want to get a good momentum going, if there are enough volunteers to run such a thing, maybe the college could host the platform for 1 hour a week.
Okay, Conrad, that's a good suggestion. One of the things that came up when the committee putting these resources together, met, was that it would be, and I think that was one of the recommendations also. It also came up in the recommendations about what we could do to provide some form of research support for trainees and trainers. And I think what you are saying here is an example of such a research support, where we could get what do you call it? Trainers who would volunteer to do this, like you're saying, and probably do this for an hour a week or something like you're saying, and people will get in. So that suggestion is noted. But Conrad, I'm taking this suggestion as you volunteer to be part of the clinic. Now, in public, you can't say no. So the only answer I can say is that yes, I have. And Conrad is my friend, so he wouldn't be angry that I'm doing this to him. Conrad, so you volunteered, haven't you?
Oh, of course. I mean, the idea is, we research, and I'm sure, the presenter, Mrs. Adanu, will agree that, research is a language. Mathematics is a language. Physics is a language. And if you don't speak it enough or on a regular basis, you acquire the skills and you lose them. So exactly. I'm more than happy, and I'm very happy to be called out if I make a mistake or several mistakes, because that's the only way that we can move forward.
Yeah, that's true. Thanks, Conrad. So I'll get back to you on that. Yeah, and there are two other hands up. There's Michael and there's Ajamu. So please get your mics live and make your comments. Patrick, can you get them to unmute, or they
yes, they need to unmute themselves.
So if you can unmute your mic, and I'll be thanking everybody very soon. Right. So thank you all for coming. This presentation would be sent to you all. The presenter is very particular about her presentation going out as PDFs and not as PowerPoints. Those of us who send us out as PowerPoints, we don't mind you doing anything to them, but certain presenters are very particular about their things going out as PowerPoint. So you get this one as a PDF, and but the recording will be out. The recording would be out at the end of all this, and we'll all get it. Thank you so much. We'll send you the PDF version of presentation right after this, and the suggestions made about the research clinic, and then maybe quarterly reviews for a particular skill would all be considered by the committee, and in a short time, you'll see these changes made to improve research mentoring of our supervisors. So thank you, and have a good night.